the climate change meeting that was the big one that was in Nairobi.
In Nairobi, okay.
Yeah, we were there.
Wasn't there another one in France?
There was one in France. There's another one coming up now again in France, December.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking about that one. That's 28,
I hope
right?
I go and there's no bed bugs. Paris.
Yeah, the French are not catching a break from South Africans this week.
Never. So we're doing a lot, and when I sit, one day I spoke to you and you said to me, "Kimbastrat, I'm always in the street."
You're always in the street. This is true.
Yes, it's true.
It's night to live. It's night to live. It's night to live. It's night to live.
Because most of the times I don't watch. What? I listen even other podcasts, even MacG's one. When I do listen, I don't watch YouTube. I listen to it on Spotify.
Really?
Most of my podcasts I listen to on Spotify.
I wonder if that's the majority of people, or you are a special case. What do you think?
I think I'm a special case, but I think there are a lot of. I don't know.
There are a lot of.
But I've never come across somebody saying, I was watching a podcast. My other friend, she drives.
Yeah.
She listens to them via speaker on her earphones.
When she's driving. What's like in your loudspeaker? What I'm trying to understand what the earphones. Okay. On that note.
Nanida koloi, not radio.
Okay. Yeah. Koloi kana is for transport.
Yes.
Radio is a optional extra. I'm with you 100%. Welcome to 9 to Life, your career and life journey podcast where we interview the interesting people doing the things you'd like to do or didn't know that you could. My name is Lesego Muela and I'm writing solo today. But I'm not solo actually. I have a very special guest, Dr. Obakeng Molelu, the first doctor on 9 to Life. Welcome.
Chisa.
So Obakeng is a marine social scientist.
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
What is that? Let's start there. Usually we start with origin story, but let's start with what is it? We'll come back and then go. What is that?
I think I became a marine scientist by chance.
Okay.
Now I'm a geographer.
Okay.
So I studied geography through and through, but I ended up working with marine scientists.
Okay.
So you have the people who do more of the marine science, but then the work that we do is more on the people. How do people interact? The people side of marine science.
Okay.
So how do people interact with the oceans?
Yes.
What do oceans mean to the people?
Yes.
How do oceans impact on the lives of people? And then also when you look at it in terms of development now in cities, then we also look at coastal urban development. How does that impact the people who rely on the beach, for example?
Okay. So tourism, it has an element of tourism.
It also has an element of tourism. It's got many elements.
Okay. All right. Interesting. We'll get back to that. Nah? Okay. Now I want us to go back. Origin story. Who is Obakeng? Where's she from? Where did she grow up? How was she like in primary school? All those things.
I can't remember. I blocked out. I think I blocked out some of my memories, né? But Obakeng is township girl. I grew up in Meadowlands.
Okay.
Ndofai. Surama Pepper.
Okay. Another Soweto. Okay.
No, I grew up in Meadowlands.
Yes.
Then from there I went to school in the burbs. So every day in the morning, I pala mapatko.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, I use a bus.
I thought Patco is long distance. You think short distance Patco?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We learn something new every day on the
Before they had
podcast.
tags, we still had the coupons. Every
Oh,
weekend you'd
yeah.
have to go down.
Is
to
it that
go,
one? Yeah.
Yeah, the one that
punch
they
the hole.
clip. Yeah, they
Oh.
punch the hole. Even Metro Bus had the tickets
Yes,
where
I
you
know
punch the
Metro Bus
hole.
did, yes.
Sometimes then we'd have two tickets. You have your Patco bus and your Metro Bus.
So you got on 2 buses to get to school?
Yeah,
Jeez, where did you go to
at
school?
some point. First I started in Parkhurst Primary School, then I went to Saxonwold. So then to Saxonwold there was a direct bus.
Is Parkhurst the one that McGee went to?
I think so. I don't know.
Is it? Okay, anyway.
I got to McGina Kanakai.
Okay. Okay.
Then I went to Saxonwold, then I went to so Saxonwold Primary School, then you can go with the one bus. Then my high schools also we just take one bus to school. So I think as time went on, Patco started adding more and more and more routes instead of having to go to town
Yes.
before.
So no what directly
But I
from
think
Soweto
no,
to
there was
okay.
always a direct one. But the reason why it was because after school the buses start at 4. So after school you got 2.
Okay.
So in
Too
town,
early, yes.
in town, there used to be a bus stop. Where's the guy? Near Bree Street. See where Unisa is. And now they have that new place. I forgot where it is. That's where the Patco bus stop used to be. So we used to catch the bus there at 3. We catch the metro bus to town. And then
Yes.
just so that you get home early.
Oh,
That's why we had a metro bus ticket.
Geez. Okay. Interesting. And how was high school for you?
High school was good. I went to 2 high schools. I went to first a Catholic all-girls school.
Jeez,
And
okay.
then
And how was survival there?
it was
Here
good.
it can be quite ruthless, those environments.
I know me, I was fine.
Oh, you were.
I never had problems. I was an entrepreneur. These stock sweets. I used to sell these poppers at some point.
Yeah. You've been hustling since a teenager.
Yeah, I don't. And
Yes.
for me, high school was fine. I didn't have a problem. I think I probably had a bully, but she didn't succeed. We ended up becoming friends. Yeah, we ended up becoming friends. Then then I had to go to another high school because I wasn't good at maths.
Okay.
My maths was bad.
So,
And then this is not good, but then I didn't tell my mom when we were actually choosing subjects. Then I chose a subject and forged a signature. Then she found out when I was in grade 10.
Oh, she wanted you to do the math subject.
Yeah.
And when you were like, this is not for me.
No. I was but I think her decision to take me out and take me to a government school where at the Catholic school you have only 2 classes. So your choice is between A or B.
Yes.
When you go to a government school, there's 6 classes in the grade. So then you are able to maneuver
You have more
between.
options.
You have more options.
Yes.
Wabo.
Yes.
So then that's why then she was like, no, now she's not having that. There's no guarantee of a future if you're not doing maths. But I still didn't do maths.
And look at you now. I mean, how much do you use math in your current role now? Do you even use it?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Does statistics count?
Not really.
Budget. When I do my budget, project budget needs maths.
I see. But that's like arithmetic, which you learn in primary. It's done. This plus this.
But it's continuity.
This. No, I'm saying that the complexity of the maths, it's not algebra. It's not calculus.
I don't know what's that, but yeah, it's not that. Yeah.
It's 1 plus 1, 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 divided by 2. Just basic adding and subtracting and okay, good. So did you know then that you were gonna be what you are now?
I thought I was gonna be a chef, a pastry chef.
A pastry chef.
I wanted to be a pastry chef.
Jeez, okay. What's the reason behind that?
I was the bakerist at home.
Oh,
I used to bake a lot.
When there's funeral, then
no. Bulk baking I wasn't good at.
Okay.
I was good at cakes, decorating the cakes.
Okay.
Experimenting with new flavors.
Yes.
That baking I can do. Cooking I can do.
Cooking you can.
I can cook.
You can try someday.
But I can cook, guys. I can cook.
No, the way you said it sounded like you were not very convinced that you can do what you say you can do. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure.
I think I've lost my touch. When you when you live alone,
Mm.
you don't have as much pressure
To cook
to
constantly.
cook constantly. You don't have that much pressure to. There's nobody's gonna come and taste.
Yes.
So I think living alone then became boring to cook all these nice meals just to have them by yourself.
Yeah, well, your own food is not the one. Eh? When you taste your own food, apparently, I don't know.
No, not all the time. Now I like my own food.
Okay, take me through to varsity then. What do you study?
So at varsity, I went in because I didn't do maths. I did a BA at Wits.
Okay.
Then I chose my modules, 4 modules. I did geography, archaeology, anthropology, and media studies.
So you had 4 majors.
No,
That's it.
when you start, you do the 4 modules,
Okay.
semester 1, semester 2.
Yes.
Then the higher you go, the more then you start dropping them.
Okay.
That's how I feel
So
Bachelor
you
of
do
Arts.
everything, and then you start to focus towards the latter
Third year.
stages. I see.
When you get to third year, then you only have 2 majors.
Okay.
Yeah. And initially, Nikiri, I wanted to do sociology.
Yes.
Sociology or philosophy. Then my brother's friend, one day during O week, I bumped into my brother's friend. Then he was asking me, so what subjects are you doing? Then I told him, Arai, drop
Leave
philosophy. Philosophy, you're going to fail. And at the time, I think at that time, 2007, the failure rate, first year philosophy was high. It was high. And even a lecturer from archaeology department told me when I was choosing my subjects, then she said to me, try sociology. If you don't like it in the first week, I'll keep a space open for you in archaeology.
Okay.
Then I didn't even go to the archaeology class. So Lisukho, so when I'm saying his name, when I bumped into Lisukho, then I told him, he's like, okay, drop sociology.
Yeah.
Keep these ones.
Okay. These ones game.
Geography,
Anthropology,
archaeology,
okay.
anthropology.
Okay.
Media studies was an add-on because also in university you need points.
Oh.
So some subjects you don't need, but you need to take them for points.
Yeah.
So most people would take psychology.
Okay.
So then I know. Then his philosophy was the field trip demonad.
Okay. But
so geography and archaeology has a lot of field trips.
Okay.
Some people were doing geography, archaeology, and geology. So imagine you have these 3 modules, all of them have field trips at different types.
Geology is not in the BSc.
It's in BSc.
Oh, okay, but you can still select the subject.
No, I can't. If you're doing BA, you can't. So then for geography, so my degree was BA in geography, archaeology, and environmental studies.
Okay.
So if you're doing a BSc, it's environmental sciences.
I see.
So then our class, we merged. So we would have the science students and the BA students for geography together. Also for archaeology, we'd be together.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I was able to cheat the system. When I did masters, I found out that I can do an MSc.
Oh, because you were doing
my subject. Yes, because my subject falls under BA and
okay, I
BSc.
see. You didn't cheat it though, because it's just the loophole.
I didn't cheat the system. There was a loophole. I found out about the loophole.
And you exploited it fully.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And people weren't taking me seriously. When you say MA.
Yeah. Okay, so you had you did your undergrad at Wits. After that, you did your honors immediately.
At Wits, yes, immediately.
You did it immediately. Okay.
Mm.
Most people want to just get degree and then start working. For you, how do you make the choice to say no? I'm gonna start with honors and then I'll worry about work afterwards?
My friends and I didn't give ourselves a choice.
Okay.
For us, we just thought, let's do honors and finish. So that when you want to do masters, it's easy to come back and do your masters.
It's just the master's straight. Yeah. You don't have to do an additional year of honors. How many years is the BA honors?
1.
1 year. Okay.
1 year.
Okay.
So for us, it was fine. And also, at the time, because like 3rd year, we started applying, looking at internships, and some of them were like honors as an advantage. So then that's when we decided, okay, guys, let's all just go do honors.
Oh,
and
you
then
took,
we'll
you
see
took that
after that.
slogan too hard, ne? Because like this gives you the edge. You wanted the edge.
Pushes you over the edge. I heard people say it pushes you. Nah, it never pushed me over.
Yeah, you know, we used to hear stories about vid students jumping off of that bridge. You know that bridge that connects the two campuses?
East and West Campus.
Yeah, that one. I didn't know. I didn't go to Vid. So the people would apparently, when it pushes you over the edge, that's the edge that they were pushed over.
I heard one story.
Okay.
But that was only one story.
It was probably one,
I think
and then it was exaggerated.
just one, then it was exaggerated because in a lot of cases it just becomes a mental issue.
Yes.
That they can't cope with the stress.
Yes.
Adverts, then it just takes them longer to complete their degrees.
Yes.
I think that was it. And then also the financing. Finances were a big thing at the time.
This is like a private school, private university. It's so expensive. I don't understand how it's a government. These people must tell us, how is it so expensive?
I also don't know.
Or you're just paying, you didn't ask.
I had a focus.
Oh, okay. Excuse us. Miss Better. Okay. So you live on campus?
No, I lived at home.
Okay.
My mom worked at Wits. So I had a full bursary.
So for people that work at Wits, their kids get to
study at Wits. Yeah.
Oh, nice. What did my friends?
So you see where there was pressure. And also I didn't have any pressure to...
Oh, so that's why your mom wanted you to do maths and all of that. They wanted you to...
Yeah.
I see.
Because she already had exposure to... She had been speaking to people.
Yeah.
She knew a couple of lecturers.
Yes.
She was asking all these questions. So...
And everyone's in maths. Yeah, you need
everybody maths. But then that was when we went to Wits. Then we also got the prospectus. Yes. While it was still that magazine.
I remember. That's shiny. You keep
because Nate House
somewhere. Yeah.
And then on that page, that's why it's important that if when your child is in grade 10, you'd rather also go and get the prospectus now, or grade 9, get the prospectus so that they can see what is actually needed, which subjects are credited, which subjects are not credited for certain subjects, and which subjects are more useful.
Yes.
And can give you a choice. So, Kataba, math is the hard pill to swallow. But then at least if your child is doing geography and biology, then at least they have something in the science that can give them a few more points.
Yes.
So I think from grade 9, it's important for the career guidance to also include actually seeing what is required at the universities or what you think you want to study.
I like what you're saying now about parents being involved in this process, because I'm thinking back to my own experience now. I don't remember consulting my parents for the subjects that I selected. There was career guidance, which was very limited in my school. I selected commerce. I did the commerce subject.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm an accountant. Someone clearly doesn't watch this podcast. So I like what you're saying, to say, parents, ultimately it's you and your family's responsibility to make sure that, you become whatever you are meant to be, whatever you want to be.
Exactly.
So if parents can play a more active role in helping their kids with deciding, especially based on, so I think we spoke about it in the first episode. Sometimes there are certain careers that, from a personality perspective, don't work well for certain types of people, right?
True.
So knowing yourself and the people around you knowing you might help to guide you into the careers that are more suitable for the type of person that you are, your interests, and also the subjects that interest you or motivate you. Because some people...
Yeah, some subjects need to motivate you. It's also important to see if your child has an understanding of what the subject entails. So I think that's also very important in the subject selection.
I like that. Okay, let's move right along. We are moving chronologically. Now you do your honors. After honors, did you do masters immediately, or you were like, okay, let me at least go?
I did a driver's license. I get another. This is stage 2 of looking for a job. Then
No.
the prerequisite is driver's
Driver's
license.
license.
Is advantageous.
When are you always looking for the age? Driver's license, honors.
We had
all
to
these
get a
things.
driver's license. There is no choice. Oh, my friends, then.
Oh, but because you said your career involves a lot of field work, so you're
Sort
gonna
of-
have to be on the road, really.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I see why it's, I guess, an advantage
Yeah.
for you guys, right?
Yeah, I think, yes, it is an advantage for the field work. The main person or the project owner has an alternative driver.
Yes.
So first did our driver's licenses.
Okay.
And then after honors, I stayed 6 months looking for a job and I couldn't find a job. Then during that 6 months, my mom she said to me, okay, in the meantime, become a swimming teacher.
Okay.
So I went to swimming South Africa. She enrolled me to swimming South Africa. I could swim. I can swim. Not I could swim.
Okay.
I can still swim.
I was gonna ask what happened to the ability.
Then at that time, then I started. Yeah, that's what I did.
For the 6 months.
Yeah.
No. 6 months it was
After honors.
the driver's license and everything.
So
when we hit
driver's
July,
license, so it was getting the driver's license.
yes.
Maybe the swimming thing is a bit too soon.
Okay.
No, it's a bit too soon, not yet. So that 6 months looking for a job, driver's license. Then there was nothing at the time. So then I just ended up registering for masters to start in July.
Oh, okay.
6 months after honors.
Yes.
So then I just started my masters. Then I just carried on studying.
Were you doing it full time or part time?
Full time.
Full time. You're on campus
every day.
regularly.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Every day. It's nice. When you get to masters, it's nice because now there's even a master's room.
And what does it do for your education?
Office, then you have your own computer. I still didn't have a laptop. So remember,
computer?
This is 2000 and the department.
Yeah. Oh,
so you have a master's room.
I understand.
And then
for
each of the master's
students
in that department.
Yes.
Not even in that school. So I was in the School of Geography.
Okay.
You get assigned a desk and a computer.
Wow. This is why this is expensive. Now I understand.
But now that was very important because in undergrad we didn't have laptops.
Yeah. This was when?
I started first in 2007.
No, your masters. When are you doing masters now? Yes.
2011.
Okay.
Started in 2011.
Okay. Yes.
I still didn't have a laptop then.
Okay.
So the computer lab, standing outside in the queue, waiting for people to finish. So doing your masters and having your own.
Yes. You have your
PC,
own dedicated PC at school.
At school, yeah.
Okay.
And
it has
even
your own
if I
login
forget
details.
my memory stick there, I will find it there.
Or because master students don't steal.
No, they don't steal. There's only maybe 10 of us.
Oh.
And why would somebody want to use your computer or your workstation?
No, they want to steal your thing. They don't want to.
No.
Oh,
the
yeah,
master students didn't steal.
Oh, okay.
We've got that thing.
Oh, plus you have your own office.
We have our own office.
Yeah,
we have our own notice board.
Hey, man.
The undergrads will come and knock. Hi, we're looking for so and so. She's our tutor.
Oh,
so we had a good.
You were like we
moved
deputy
up.
lecturers, Nyana.
No, not even. But I think it's really nice when you see yourself moving up the ranks. I'm sitting now on the first floor, the second floor of the building, where you never used to even go up there.
Yeah.
The fella only on the ground floor.
On the ground floor, yeah.
So as you go higher, you start getting access to upstairs,
You're unlocking new levels.
Exactly.
I see. So your master's is in?
Still geography, but I did a dissertation.
Okay.
So my study was on...
no subjects at all. It was just dissertation for the full 2 years.
I decided I don't like exams.
Okay.
After honors was the pinnacle, the last exam I ever wrote for the last. And I decided I'll never write an exam in my life. Research is the way. Research is the future. So I did my master's by dissertation. So my topic was on food security how urban agriculture can be used as a community development tool in Soweto.
Oh, beautiful. Nice. You even put it within the township context.
Yeah, it had to be easy. It had to
As in
be
for
easy in
access?
terms of access, yeah.
Okay.
It had to be in terms of access.
Yes.
If I needed to go to the field, it's easy to talk to anybody in my family
Yeah.
or my dad at the time, where he was still alive at the time.
Yes.
And he was blind, but he knew for Kakoshawela. He lived Kakosha in Shawela.
Yes.
No, in English, I use Chawelo.
Shawelo.
Yes.
Yes, your pops lived
So
in Shawelo.
he lived there. He knew it so well. He would sit next to me and give directions.
Really?
Yeah.
Asabone
Asabon, because
Jeez.
he became blind later in life.
Oh.
Yeah, from diabetes. So then he knew, and he was very helpful, honestly speaking. He took me to all the right places. I interviewed all the right people, the
Nice.
farmers.
Yeah.
A lot of them were actually pensioners, and their concern was that this is just stuck all throughout the years, is that young people don't understand the importance of farming. The importance of having a small patch to grow your own food, because that same patch is what can save you every night. That's what can feed your children every night.
Yeah.
And some of them would say that people would come walking past and ask, can I buy? Or say that I don't have food. Can I please have spinach or cabbage? I need to go cook for my children.
That is so powerful in South Africa. That's, 75% unemployed, youth unemployment. You understand? Like that's such a underrated thing. And
it is.
Did you take it any further than writing about it?
No. Sorry, that no came out wrong. No, I didn't take it further. I didn't take it further than that. Because
okay. Oh, because you went into marine. Okay.
I think that's when I started looking for a job.
Okay.
Then I became a swimming teacher.
Oh, from swimming. Because of the water, you were like extra.
No. I became a swimming teacher because I was unemployed. So my mom made me. She made me. I think she still made me, but because I'm an obedient child, and I had nothing to do. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll become a swimming teacher. So I enrolled and I became a qualified swimming teacher.
Okay.
Then I was able to work.
And you
with
did
the
that
masters.
For how long?
I was teaching at Virgin Active Soweto.
Okay.
Maponya Mall. Then I got a job to work at a primary school in Randburg.
As a swimming teacher?
As a swimming teacher. As a PE, a swimming teacher under the PE. So the PE.
Department, yeah.
PE conjugating physical education, yeah. Physical education teacher was my manager. Then,
okay.
While I was doing that,
yes,
I was also an au pair.
Really? So you did it all, almost?
Yeah.
From hustling with sweets and stock sweets? Or did you hustle go viz? What were you doing go viz?
I worked for my brother. He had a tuck shop. But
shopkeeper,
then I also,
let's make it fancy. Shopkeeper.
Okay, I was a shopkeeper.
Entrepreneur, shopkeeper.
Then
not a nanny. Au pair. Yes.
Au pair.
That's why.
Okay, but then I was also I didn't become a tutor. So then I was
at school.
At university.
Oh, you didn't
doing
have the
masters.
Patience. Yeah.
I just didn't want to. Okay. So then I became a research assistant. So then I would do a lot of field work. So when the lecturers needed people to conduct interviews, my first favorite job, actually two.
Yes.
The one was we were conducting interviews in Carltonville.
Okay.
So this one was also related to food security.
Okay.
So in Carltonville, Potchefstroom, the farmers are from rural areas. Some of them are also from Lesotho. So when they come with the same thinking of growing food.
Oh.
But the problem is that on the mining compound, growing food is allowed, but then it could be dangerous because the mine is near. So then in the mine dump, so when the dust inhaled the minerals, when it rains, it lands in the soil. So then what they were trying to see is how many of them are farming, what are they farming, to see in order for them to start going and looking and testing the soil. Yes. And they already knew, I think, spinach stores in the stem or in the leaves.
Okay.
the toxins.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's what they were about. Then I learned about things about phytoremediation. So remember, in Johannesburg,
You
I
have to
get it.
explain that to us.
Then I also learned it there.
Okay, phytoremediation.
Phytoremediation is, so in Soweto, there's a lot of mine dumps.
Yes.
And for the longest
It's that
time,
yellow soil, those yellow heaps.
yeah,
Ne?
kidding mine dump.
That's mineral waste.
Yes, after the whole processing of iron ore from the rock.
Yeah.
You all know what I mean.
No, we had a
But
metallurgist before you, so
yeah,
don't worry.
so
It's
then
connecting. It's connecting right now. Yes.
environmental legislation changed over the years from 1998 until now. Then it was a requirement for phytoremediation because there was a lot of dust. People were suffering from asthma. So phytoremediation is they had to now start planting plants that are able to grow on those mine dumps to stabilize the mine dumps.
Oh, is it from the wind or absorption of these minerals and
Yeah, they absorb the minerals, I think, and also they stabilize the mine dump so that there's to reduce the amount of dust.
I see.
And then reduction of dust, better visibility, and lower levels of asthma and respiratory problems.
So your job was to do what now? To
Conduct
test.
interviews. I'm a
To
social scientist. So that is just the phytomediation, something I learned in that project.
Yes.
But when we were just learning about the mine workers who were farming or who were subsistence farming on the mining compounds.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you said you're a social scientist. So does this mean while you are interviewing the people, there's someone collecting samples there? And
not yet. It came in stages.
Okay, so
that
your
was
stage
the first
was
stage. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Then also I did I was a research assistant for 2 years on a food security project. I don't know if you guys know that WITS had a bit of a problem for food security among the students. So we also did a study.
Yes.
A lot of students were going hungry.
Okay.
And I think it's not even between 20.
It's just that's when you guys focused on it.
Yeah, that's when because it started.
It's always been a problem.
It's always been a problem.
Yes.
But
we always hear about
more
people
prevalent.
saying I'd sleep in the media center because I didn't have anywhere to sleep. To stay. I
or
didn't
some of
have
them
money.
don't have food.
I was waiting for NEFSAs. We hear all those stories all the time. Yes. So you guys did that, and what was your role there?
I was a interview. I conducted many of the interviews, and then I think with the findings, then I'd left after that.
Oh, so you never got to analyze that.
So then they analyze it, and then one time when I was visiting WITS, I saw Gift of the Givers had a stall near the Matrix where they gave food every day for students who didn't have food or access to food. I think it also changed some of the structures at the university so that they could have food provision for students who did not have access to nutritious food.
Yes.
The other thing is that students are not eating nutritious food.
Yes.
So if you have 10 Rand, you can afford a loaf of bread, brown bread, and chips.
Yeah.
They weren't having nutritious food.
I see.
So that's what also needed to be implemented slowly.
Tell me, I'm thinking about it as you are speaking now, and I'm very interested. As a social scientist, what was the effect of that Gift of the Givers being on campus? Because there's that stigma that comes with now you have to go stand in the line of Gift of the Givers instead of the normal tuck shop where people with money go. So some people might have thought, I'm not gonna go. Yeah. Some people thought, me I'd rather just starve than for me to be known as that guy, that girl that's living off of that. How did you guys look at that?
I don't know. Remember, I was there visiting.
Okay.
But I think because it was there for a while,
yes,
they were using
Eventually,
you get used to it. You go, you get your food.
Okay.
And you're out. And there was also another cheaper restaurant, the vegetarian one. They started with rice and lentils. It was 5 Rand.
Oh.
So then at least with that restaurant, it was affordable food.
Yes.
Yes, it was vegetarian, but it did the job.
At least your 10 Rand can stretch now and buy you something that's very interesting. Okay. So your first job was actually as a research assistant, like first formal
Formal,
When you
yeah,
had
I
a
was
fixed
a
number and all of those.
Mm.
Research assistant. What does a research assistant do other than whatever the researcher tells you to?
That's what you do. You do what the
you're
researcher
basically-
says.
Yeah, there's no job title basically then.
You're a research assistant. So if they want you to capture data, you capture data.
Jeez.
If you need to do interviews, you do the interviews. I also used to be I think Wits was my pot, my money pot.
Okay.
Because
so you were hustling, Govin.
I hustled a lot at Wits. It helps
Talk
because
about it.
you university, the same place, you do everything.
Yes.
Yes, I lived at home, but Origin Center, I also used to be what do you call it, at the museum. I used to work at the museum, a tour guide.
Curator,
I was a tour guide at the museum.
Okay.
At the Origins Museum.
Origin
Because I
Museum
did
is where?
archaeology.
Is it that
It's
one on the corner?
On the corner of
Jurison
Dakota and
and-
Juris. Is it Jurison?
No, it's not.
It's on Yale Road.
The one
at
that
the
has
main
an M
entrance.
or a W or something. What is
It's
it?
O.
An O. Okay.
Yeah.
M-O, close enough.
Yeah, it's at the top.
Oh, okay.
Not far
I
from
know that.
Senate House.
Okay.
Origins Museum.
I
You all
like
should
how
go
you
there.
Wits people like talking like all of us went to Wits and we know where Senate House is and the Matrix.
The Matrix is where all the food was, where the photo where you went to go make copies.
Okay.
SRC is there at the Matrix.
Yes. Okay, so you were also a curator then. You were getting paid there.
Not a curator. A tour guide, a museum tour guide.
Yes. Okay, and you were getting paid and that's nice.
We're getting paid this side and this geography this side.
Geography,
archaeology this side.
environmental studies.
No, I didn't do. Yeah, environmental studies.
You were 3 majors, eh?
No. So I was in the School of Archaeology, Geography, and Environmental Studies.
Okay.
So in your geography and in archaeology, you will do some environmental studies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So after you okay, wait, before we move on, can you take us through the research process? Because I think this is important because everyone, even us commerce people, we end up having to do research. So someone is listening and they're like, this research thing.
Guys.
Just quickly, just a quick step research. 1. Before you start with researching.
Start with an idea.
Okay.
And an interest.
Yes.
In some cases, you just want the degree and you don't have the idea.
So you just do whatever was done.
But
before.
you need the drive.
Yes.
The idea.
Mm-hmm.
Where the degree that you want.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the supervisor.
Okay.
I feel like once we understand the importance of a supervisor can make you or break you.
That's very true.
And it's unfortunate that you can't choose your supervisor because sometimes you get given a list of supervisors, you go read their bios, and you choose from there. There's no one to ask. Do you choose your supervisor first, or do you choose your topic and then based on your topic, here the list of supervisors? I think based on your interests. Okay. You'll find the topic somewhere in there. Yeah, then you'll see. Let's see. So he's interested in this climate change, blue economy. Oh, I like this. Mm-hmm. You set up an appointment and you talk to them, and then it starts from there. I see. And you must also have patience and the ability to work by yourself. So then after that, once you have a supervisor, you have your concept. Mm-hmm. What they taught us is that if you have a research idea, you write a 1-pager. Okay, so that's like a 1-page proposal. Yeah, 1-page proposal. Okay. Just so that when you go and meet that person, or before you go meet that person, you've already emailed them that 1-pager. But okay, first paragraph, this is what I've studied. These are my interests. This is the type of research I want to conduct. Yes. And these are the proposed methods. Okay. So I think by the time you're doing research, you already know methodology. You've done the research methodology subject. For us, we didn't. For us, the research methodology was the subject. Then how do you learn it? At WITS, you just expected to know it? No. This is how you get the edge. The nice thing is that I think they changed it after our class or after our group. Yes. In 3rd year, still in undergrad, you were supposed to do a small research project. Okay. So by then, you've already gone through it. And research methods is is part of the process from first year right up until. So there's no one module. You learn because field trip.
Yeah.
When you go to a field trip,
Yeah.
certain field trips will be about interviews. Then you have to conduct interviews with the locals in the township. The next one was biogeography.
Yeah.
So we learned about transit. So if you want to calculate what is the spread of the tree density
Yes.
in Centurion,
Yes.
then you'd have to first look at a map.
Yes.
Then you draw transect. So you put in blocks.
Uh-huh.
Then you must choose, okay, if Centurion is so and so many square kilometers, how big must your sample size be?
Mhm.
How many squares are you going to analyze? And then you start, I think there's different ways. I forgot about, you look at the tree, the canopy cover, canopy cover versus ground cover. I think something like that. But then when you look at canopy cover, now there's GIS, there's remote sensing, and there's so much better quality imagery in remote sensing that you don't necessarily have to go to
out.
Centurion
Yes.
and do all those transacts. You can just look at the remote
like
sensing.
what do you use? Google
remote
Earth
sensing.
or what? Or something along
There's
those
like
lines.
Esri, there's different types of
Okay.
software used for GIS
Okay.
and remote sensing.
I've been reading a book that I think might be along your alley. And I'd like to get your views on it because it's quite a controversial book, apparently.
But I've never read it, so I can't.
How do you know
I have
you've
a
never read it?
view?
How do you know you've never read it? Or you don't read? Okay.
I haven't read a book in a while.
Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. I'll tell you the book and I'll tell you what it says. There's a book called Guns, Germs, and Steel. Or I'm not sure about the order. It's Guns, Germs, or Skills, or Germs, Guns, and Steel, whatever. So it's a history book about modern humans. Let's call it that. But it's from the last 13,000 years. And it's the main question that the book is trying to answer is, how is it that the global West and Asia got so developed to the point where they were the conquerors and the colonizers, as opposed to Africa, North America, South America, because all those places were conquered and they were colonized by these people, basically Europe and Asia, Eurasia, let's call it Eurasia. Australia, Philippine Islands, everywhere around the world were colonized by that group of people. And the book is trying to answer that. And the main answer that the book is giving is the fact that Eurasia has a horizontal layout, whereas all the other continents have a vertical. So what that means is that they're around the same, I don't know what you call these lines. Who are geographist?
Lines of latitude.
Yeah, latitude. Because they are around the same latitude, climates are the same, which means farming methods would be the same around the same latitude.
How they look.
Yes, there's also heterogeneity in terms of how they look and all of that. Whereas Africa, Central Africa, Southern Africa, and Northern Africa have totally different climates. So the animals that you domesticate, the plants that you domesticate will be different because the climates are different.
And that's the flies.
That's the premise of the book. Do you have a view on that?
No. I didn't have a view on it. I work too much with my African counterparts. I don't want to have a view on that.
This is why I said the book is controversial. Okay, it's fine. You know,
I don't want to have a view on it.
Mm.
I don't want to offend my fellow African colleagues.
Okay, it's fine.
But it's interesting. I've never read anything about the lines of how they use the lines of latitude and longitude to actually say this is why.
Yeah,
I think the climate one can be a reason also, because then for them it forced them to stay in one place. Yes. They didn't have a lot of room for maneuvering.
Whereas not necessarily that. Even when I move, for instance, I can only move along the same latitudinal line, which means the plants that I'm taking along, the seeds that I'm taking along, when I get there and I plant them, I'm gonna get there. Exactly. Whereas if I'm moving from Central Africa to let's move Africa. When you're from Central America and you're moving to Southern America, the climate is different, which means the plants that I plant there will not necessarily work, which means now I have to abandon, and this is how it developed. They had to abandon their lives as farmers to be hunter-gatherers because they couldn't plant food and have food storages. So because they were hunter-gatherers, they were always on the move. They never civilized and organized themselves and was organized. This is the people that were living along the vertical continents.
Okay.
Yes. Because now you are a hunter-gatherer, you never get together into a group, because when there's too many people in the group,
you need to start having
and whatever, and, so you need to
also
constantly
there must also be
move.
a hierarchy, and
Exactly.
the hierarchy
helps
needs
you
to be maintained.
Exactly. It helps you develop the social skills that allow you to, and because there's a hierarchy, there's our town versus your town, which means now we have to develop a military. And with that military, that's what they used to go conquer the other nations. This is what the book is saying now. But a lot of people are it's a contentious book. So the jury is still out on that book. It's not conclusive yet. Yeah. You should check it out.
Yeah, when you have the right title.
I'm sure someone in the comment section will know. I think it's Guns, Germs, and Steel, or Germs, Guns, and Steel. Steel is always the last one. But yeah, that one. Okay, as we move on right along. So you worked as a research assistant. And then I know you are a traveler. Is this part of the field work? Is this you now doing field work of your job?
No. What do you mean? No, as a research assistant, it was just local travel.
I'm saying yes, you are from Jersey, but you were in PE at some point. You were in KZN.
This is just more recent.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
I only started
Take me
moving.
along, yes.
So after masters, then one day my friend called me up. I wasn't good at GIS, but I did it.
Okay.
Then I went for a job interview at this place in Pretoria.
Okay.
Big research institute. Then I didn't get the job. Then she calls me up and tells me, Chomi, apply for this job. It's a PhD studentship. It's in Durban.
Oh, a fellowship, yeah.
Studentship.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
What is it?
I don't know, but a studentship is more, you're a student, it's under the NRF and the research institution, and you get a salary every month.
I think I know the
fees are
institution
paid.
that you're talking about.
Yeah. So
Can I name it?
if you want to, yeah. Yeah, because this is a 9 to life.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Yeah, it's at the CSIR.
CSIR. Oh, okay.
CSIR has like.
Because I know they work a lot with NRF. Or NRF is under them.
No, they work with.
They work a lot
NRF
with
is
them.
I think NRF is under the Department of Higher Education.
Okay, yeah.
So
they work a lot with the NRF, and they give a lot of bursaries
to
master students and doctor students.
Bursaries, internships as well.
Really?
So after undergrad or after honors,
yes,
you even during that time you apply for the internship, and then you get placed at a research institution or a university
based on whatever your interest. Oh, okay, interesting. So they're the ones that are paying your stipend.
I was getting a salary. I wasn't getting a stipend. I was getting a salary.
Okay.
I was balling. I was getting a salary. I was balling.
So there's money in research. Guys, please do research. Forget about lawyers and doctors and do research.
It depends on which research. Okay. It depends, Baba. So then I applied. Then at the time, my mom and I were really having like a fallout.
Okay.
Because she wants me to do a PhD. Come on, now I don't want a PhD. I want a job, guys. My friends have jobs. Some of them work at Stats SA.
Yes.
Some
as
of
researchers.
them, the other one works in Stellenbosch.
Oh, wow.
Now, she started as an intern.
Okay.
So, not just my friends, but then my peer group, people I was university. So, said more. I was just like, I need a job. Yes. Yeah, I need a job. Yes. I don't want PhD. I don't want to be a doctor. I was scared I'd be overqualified.
Okay.
Then I get an interview. They leave a voicemail. It was a time I think there was a time in our lives when you get a missed call, a private number.
Oh, you don't
you have to answer. If you miss it, then you think I missed out on a job interview.
I see.
Because all these places phoned using private numbers. So you never miss a phone call, a private number.
Yes, you're right.
Then they leave a voicemail.
Yes.
Obakeng, you applied for this job, PhD studentship. we're inviting you for an interview.
Wow.
So I go home and I tell my sister that I can't believe Mama applied for a PhD for me.
Oh, when are you thinking it's
I think
PhD?
my mom did it. Because they also took long. I applied at the end of November.
Okay.
And they only got back to me in January, March, April. In April.
Oh my goodness. That's
so I forgot about it.
Yes.
Then I went for the interview.
Okay.
Long story short, I got it.
Nice.
May, I relocated. I left the first time ever.
Left home.
I left home.
Wow.
And I went to Durban to start my PhD.
Oh.
So that's when I lived in Durban, I think for 5.5 years.
Oh my goodness.
I still didn't finish my PhD. I think the excitement got to me.
The excitement of the fact that you're doing a PhD?
No, leaving home.
For
People
the
who
first
live
time.
at Reyes are not like...
I see. This is the first time now you are getting this independence. Okay. Talk about it. Okay.
It was great. It was awesome. Those were the best. The first year was the best year of my life.
Nice, man.
But then during that time, I also got a lot of exposure into research. Being at the CSIR, the Durban campus, then there's other marine scientists, that's biologists, the ones who do chemistry.
Nice.
There was a water lab upstairs.
Okay. Yeah, I know KZN is big on water for whatever reason. Why?
Yeah, water.
Do you know?
There's Mgeni Water.
Yeah, I know Mgeni Water is a big institution in there.
There's our outfalls, not outfalls, but the sewage.
Yeah.
So sewage, when you flush, it has to go somewhere.
Yes. A treatment plant.
Treatment plant before it gets released. And when does it get released into the ocean? So there's certain points where it needs to be released. So then the testing continuously is to test that is the treatment plant working. The plumes, they call it plumes. So is it dispersing? How quickly is the plume dispersing out?
The waste.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Now it makes okay.
Then there's also a kind of bit of water problems. Water quality has to be tested all the time, even in rivers and dams.
100%.
That's what they did.
Okay.
So that's what I learned. That's when.
So you went more away from the social sciences and into more the hard sciences.
No.
Okay.
The campus had all those scientists.
So you
then me and my supervisor and another girl, we were doing the social science of it. So we were doing more climate change adaptation, mitigation, impact, working with the municipality. What is the municipality doing to ensure that their planning strategies, city planning is adapting to climate change so that it can protect the people if there's a storm, there's a flood.
And that didn't work out so nicely, because there was a flood and a storm.
I think they weren't prepared.
They weren't, no?
They weren't expecting a storm of that magnitude.
Yeah, that was horrible.
So then that's when I started. Then my supervisor then said to me, I'm giving you free will to do research in anything, but it has to do with the port, but in it you must have the port and the municipality. So my research was on...
Okay. How involved is a municipality in the port operation? Isn't port a separate
national
entity? Yeah.
It is, but then legislate. But now the port is where? The port is in Durban.
Yes. Within the municipality. Location-wise. Okay.
Yeah. So geographically, the port is there.
Yes.
And as the port is here, whatever the port does, whatever activities it does
around the port
has an impact on the city around it. The people living in the city work where? At the port.
Yes.
So there's people who don't work at the port, but who are also impacted by all port activities.
Okay.
So port activity is not just the vessel coming in, offloading a container.
Uploading.
Or uploading fruits, citrus, minerals from the 1800s. Took out gold, just people and diamonds.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. So then, so the port develops. So ports also need to grow. There's technology. Ports need to adapt because ships that are coming in are using other technologies also. And with the port of Durban is the gateway to Southern Africa.
Okay.
The N1, not the N1, the N3 goes from Durban, exits Durban through Johannesburg, and then until the bridge. I know it separates, then obviously it leads to all other highways that leave South Africa. So that's a very important highway.
Okay.
I think that's the most well
For the
taken
port,
care
for the
of.
port.
So the port is not just an island. It's got such a greater impact.
Yes.
So then, but now I was looking more at port development and what is its impact on the city, and then what is the relationship between port authorities and the municipality. So I'll give you one example. For example, there's environmental legislation. The Coastal Management Act is Integrated Coastal Management Act that for development to occur, there needs to be an environmental impact assessment, social impact assessment, all these impact assessments. And the port is in an estuary. An estuary is at a very important
estuary.
Okay. Estuary is where the river and the ocean meet.
Okay.
So there's a mixing of the waters.
Yes.
So that mixing creates a very important ecosystem for certain marine mammals. Some of them use it to. Some of them can only survive there. Some of them use it to. They leave from the ocean. They come to the estuary because it's not as
turbulent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then they. Almost said they plant there. They lay their eggs there.
They plant.
They lay their eggs. They lay their eggs and then they leave because it's such a nutritious ecosystem. Then the eggs will hatch, stay there for a little bit, and then
go into the ocean.
So it's a very important ecosystem.
Okay.
There's a lot of things I can tell you about an estuary.
Yeah.
So then the port cannot just expand and destroy
the estuary
and remove the central sandbank. So that's where the community comes in.
Yes.
Community of stakeholders. So you have the environmental institutions, research institutions, the universities, people who fish there, recreational.
So there's a lot of stakeholders there, which then speaks to the social elements there, because we need to think about all these people that are affected by this estuary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people who depend on the ecosystem services.
Yeah.
Because I might not go fishing, but I might like to go sit at the estuary and watch the birds.
Because
that meet up there.
Yes.
It's relaxing. Me, I don't like to go to the beach. I want to go there and have a drink at the harbor.
So this means
I get it, and because we have a tourist section.
Yes.
There, unlike with other many ports in Africa.
So this is the port here, Durban. The Durban one. Okay. I heard the most efficient, and I heard this very recently. It was I was attending some event, and the principal of the NSG was speaking about how.
What's NSG?
National School of Government. Government department. Yeah. So principal is like a CEO. They call him principal. He was talking about how, I think he said Mombasa is actually the most efficient port in Africa in terms of I think he said they have a 36-hour max docking time or something like that. A ship can only be there, offload and unload within 36 hours, whether you're done or not. And they're very strict about that.
Because ships pay.
Okay.
The ship pays to dock.
And it's
the longer it stays there, the
Yeah.
more money they have to pay to the port authority.
Yeah.
So the ship owner.
So it's in the interest of the port authority to keep the ship there, because until you pay based on usage, I assume. And that's what I was thinking. The longer you're there, the bigger your bill. Right?
Yeah, but then also if you do that too much, then you will no longer become the port of choice.
Oh, because now ships are gonna wait too long there.
Too long, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure about his statement
about Mombasa being the most efficient. Okay, in your knowledge, because this is now your wheelhouse.
I've been to Mombasa Port.
Yeah.
I've had
interactions.
I dated a guy.
Okay. I tried to save you.
So he's a freight forwarder there.
Okay.
And he was like complains all the time
About the
also
operations. Yes.
about operations.
Okay.
I don't want to throw myself under the bus or the port, but then all ports have their own problems.
Yeah, of course.
And him making that statement was, I wouldn't make that statement.
Okay.
Neither will I dispute his statement.
Okay.
But then from what I've seen,
yes,
is that it's not necessarily the most, it's not that efficient.
Okay.
Right? But they're trying their best to make it the port of choice.
Yes.
And what they have now is the SGR, the standard gauge railway line that goes from, it's a speed train.
Is
that
it like
goes from
the one that comes from Mpumalanga, the one that carries our mineral? We have
No, it's
something similar,
faster.
right?
This one is a bit faster.
Oh, and that one docks go Richards Bay, I think, right?
Yeah, the one docks at
Yeah,
Richards
okay,
Bay.
anyway, yes.
So this one takes containers. So SGR has the difference that SGR has the container,
Yeah.
and then it also has a passenger train.
Oh, ours
So
doesn't have a
passengers don't
passenger
have-
element yet.
Yeah. So instead of now you have passengers who can easily go from Mombasa to Nairobi in I think 2-3 hours, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken, instead of having to catch a bus or a taxi or a matatu, a taxi
Okay.
there, and
Yeah.
flying for them is expensive. So at least they have
Yes.
that speed train that has cut travel time in half. So what they're trying
I
to do
see.
is they are reducing the amount of containers that are in Mombasa
Yeah.
and moving them quicker to Nairobi.
Okay.
It's the same concept. So you think of Mombasa. Mombasa is like Durban,
Yes.
and you have the
N3.
hub
Yes.
in Nairobi. Here our hub is in Johannesburg.
Stores, yes.
Same thing.
Oh,
So-
but out they're more rail reliant. We're more road reliant.
More road reliant.
I
Yeah,
see.
exactly.
Okay.
So they have managed, I think they have really managed to reduce the number of trucks
Mm,
in Mombasa.
mm.
But now having less containers is then the problem for the container storage facilities.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of container storage facilities that start springing up. Because so many containers are waiting to be collected.
I see.
Now containers are moving up faster.
Okay.
Then the storage facilities, container storage facilities are not in full capacity
operation.
use.
I see. Okay. Look, let's move a bit quickly. Tell me about WIOMSA. West Indies. What?
No, West Indies, don't say that.
No, but isn't it West Indian Ocean?
So during my PhD,
Yes.
my
Okay.
supervisor introduced me to WIOMSA.
Okay. What does it stand for?
Western Indian Ocean
Oh,
Marine
Western
Science
Indian
Association.
Ocean. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about what is that organization, and what does it do? What's it? Or is it in the name? It's
Marine Science Association.
and what is their role? What are they trying to
So
achieve?
WIOMSA is
Yeah.
it's an NGO.
Okay.
It started in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
So it has grown so much
Mm.
over the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm. 30.
30.
1993.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30.
No, not 1993, but not 30. Sorry, 30 years. So what it does is it's a Marine Science Association
Yeah.
that is connected to, that it drives, it's a driver for marine research, marine
Okay.
science and marine research.
So those
we get
estuary, what do you call it?
estuaries.
Estuaries. They are the fighters for the estuaries around the world,
Well,
amongst other things.
so let me first start. The
Okay.
Western Indian Ocean
Yes.
is the Indian Ocean, but along the East African coastline.
Yeah, because that's the west of India.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So including Southern Africa,
Okay.
which including South Africa all the way, they
Even
make
Cape
it all
Town?
the way till Cape Town.
But Cape Town is Atlantic, or not? Okay. Anyway.
Because there's a fine line. It's not like there's a line or there's a wall in the ocean to say Indian here.
No, but isn't there a
Benguela.
place where the two?
There's mixing.
Yes, where the cold from the Atlantic and the warm from the Indian mix, and then it's like a defined point.
Yeah, it's
right?
until maybe after PE,
Yeah.
then the water starts changing.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
Okay. Anyway, so there is a wall, just invisible.
Yeah, you can say that. So it's a science association. We work with research institutions within the region. So it's regional. It covers 6 countries: South Africa, Mozambique, Tanzania, Kenya. That's 4. And I think we're also adding a bit of
Somalia, because that's
as
also...
well. Yeah, and we also have islands. That's where I'm stuck. Mauritius,
Mauritius,
Madagascar, and
okay.
Seychelles, and Comoros
So
Island.
it's only sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah.
So you don't go there to the Suez Canal.
No,
That's
we
a
don't get
different...
there.
Okay.
We don't get to the Suez
Okay.
Canal. So we are pushing for research. We're pushing for policy changes. So we are trying to use science, evidence-based decision making to influence policy. Because
in what direction?
a positive direction.
No, it's positive.
I don't know why I didn't get to the right note.
No, what I mean is...
I'll say positive.
No, man. What I mean is, how do you define the positive? What is positive for your guys? What are your objectives? What are you guys trying to achieve? Policy to influence policy to do what for you guys?
We need policy to work for
marine life.
Not just marine life, also for people.
Okay.
People, if you live inland, you don't realize how important the ocean is to... If you want fish, where do you think your fish comes from?
The ocean.
Exactly. So you need policies and you need legislation that ensures that the ocean is protected. There's no overfishing.
Conservation.
There's conservation.
Okay.
There's also there's a lot of conservation effort. There's water quality efforts.
That's important.
So that's important for us to make sure that the fish that you get on your plate is healthy. Your fish didn't swallow plastics. So one of the major things, one of the other things also is...
I see the positive
plastics.
Now. Yes.
Marine litter, especially land-based sources of waste. How is waste getting to the ocean? So then is policy and legislation continuous from the coast inland? You have rivers that are flowing from inland, cities, rural areas, right down to the ocean, and they're carrying all this plastic down. So then what waste management interventions are being implemented from inland right down to the coast in order to reduce the amount of plastic and waste that is getting into our rivers?
I see.
Factories that have effluent, factories that are taking out chemicals from their systems into rivers. So that's just part of my mandate. But then that is the whole point, is that we are evidence. So we are looking for evidence. We support researchers, and we're also about supporting women in marine science.
That's the
and providing them
now.
WIMS.
WIMS, okay.
Network of Women in Marine Science. So we have various networks. Capacity development.
Okay.
Is
so training more people to be marine scientists.
No. That is the job of the university. The university will give you the education.
Okay.
Then we will expose you to opportunities.
Once
to become a marine scientist.
Once you have your quali.
Yeah, once you have your qualification.
Okay.
So when I say capacity development, it also includes graduates. We provide skills development in terms of methodologies. We spoke about methodology earlier on.
Yes.
Methods are changing continuously. We're getting better technologies of collecting data.
Yes.
I think cameras, now you have such powerful underwater cameras that can actually be used for monitoring coral reefs, monitoring the ocean floors, monitoring seagrasses.
So now we can get to explore more. Because I read some statistic that said we haven't even touched 10% of exploring our oceans.
It's true. That now there's a growing, there's an emerging, not narrative, but discourse where they want to now explore deep sea.
Yes.
More research in the deep sea.
Yes. Yeah, and it's very important since the connecting those guys that exploded. No, those guys that went that tour that went to go see the Titanic.
The submarine.
That submarine. It shows there's an interest to do that deep.
The submarine. And they were sitting like sardines in a submarine.
Mara. Anyway, it's fine. What do you do now as a marine social scientist? What is your day to day?
I don't know what my day to day is.
Okay, what is your week to week or month to month? Anything that you do in a regular basis. So if it's project, what does a project look like?
Let me start because of the nature of WIOMSA.
Okay.
It's regional. So we work a lot with various actors and stakeholders, governments, other universities, research institutions, like the Nairobi Convention, the United Nations. Then there's also the Ocean Decade.
Okay.
So we work with a lot of stakeholders. So I think almost every week there's a meeting happening somewhere, whether in person or online. There's a lot of projects that we're involved in or programs that we're involved in that need to be continuously updated on a monthly basis.
I see. So part of your, let's call it,
part of my mandate is to stakeholder engagement, stakeholder management, and knowledge. So right now, the biggest thing is knowledge generation, knowledge sharing, and cross-fertilization of skills.
Oh, which is what these institutes that you were talking about
That's
are trying
why we
to
need
do.
them. Yeah.
So you sort of bring together the South African wing of that whole institute where there's the marine biologist, the marine social scientist, marine scientists, all these people for South Africa with the Tanzanians, the Kenyans, the Mozambicans, so that there's like what best practices, benchmarking, and all those things.
Exactly. So that's why. So every year we'll probably have about 2 or 3. If it's a good year and we have enough funding, we'll have more trainings. So we'll put out we put out a call. We'll put out a call that we're looking for people to do a training on. Let me say, today I was reading one. There was a training on methods for monitoring ocean acidification.
Okay.
Then we'll put it out. Then everybody who's interested in that will say, I would like to come for the training because I've started doing ocean acidification, or our institution only has this method. Now we want to get better and have better results. Then we choose, in every country, we have to choose someone or some people from there. And we also have it's not spoken, but then we also have to keep a quota. We have to keep early career researchers are a priority. Women are also a priority because we find that women are exposed, but they're not being given enough opportunities.
I see. Look, remember I told you this time goes by very quickly. We are at 1 hour and 13 minutes right now.
I've been keeping things as short as possible.
You've been trying. Eh? Look, I think I'd love to have you back, and I'd love to have a conversation about, now that we've sort of moved to this part of your career, what are the efforts that you are doing, and along with the other, you use the word cross-fertilization of other careers or something, where you and a scientist and a biologist come together and see how we can tackle this problem from different perspectives. I'd love to have like a panel discussion or something along those lines about this.
That would be nice.
That would be nice, right?
We also maybe with other
careers. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Not just
that would be really nice.
You and a scientist and a biologist and all these people, and we'd have a discussion. So we'll organize that, nah?
Yeah.
For now,
can I also just say that
say something.
When we say cross-fertilization, we also mean between countries.
Okay.
It's not just in South Africa,
of course,
because
our ecosystem will be different.
Our ecosystems are also continuous.
Okay.
It's the Indian Ocean is continuous, and impacts of climate change, whatever, if Madagascar gets affected, it hurts us
as well. It really loves.
So we also need to provide. At the same time, if they reach out and say this has happened, guys, please help us. We don't have enough money, or we don't have the resources or the technology to analyze the impact and the extent of this disaster along the coastline. they will come to us because we are a regional entity, we are a regional
I understand.
association.
Yes.
Then we will start seeing who can we call in, how can we get help.
Is there a global association? Because WIOMSA is just the Western Indian Ocean. So is there another one for the...
So there's United Nations.
Oh,
So the
it's a
United
program of
Nations-
UN.
No, it's not a program of UN.
Okay.
So it's us, we are one.
Yes.
Then we are also part of another one.
Okay.
So this one's called IORA,
Okay.
the Indian Ocean Rim Association. So this one then includes
It's unfortunate wording.
Australia.
Yes.
It includes Australia, India, Singapore,
Philippines, the
Philippines.
Asian
So it
islands.
includes,
Yes.
then it extends more and more.
Okay.
And then we also work closely with the UNEP and the United Nations Ocean Decade.
Okay.
So Ocean Decade was started from 2020.
Oh,
So
it's
there's a
brand
whole lot
new.
of decade actions
Yeah.
and actions that need to be done until 2030
Okay.
to
Is it part of
make
the
things
UN
better.
Sustainability Development
Yeah,
Goals?
SDGs. It's part of the
Okay,
SDGs also.
okay.
So
Who's
we
doing
are
it for
small.
for the Atlantic Ocean? Is there an organization that's doing what you guys are doing for the Atlantic Ocean, as in for Kimberley and them? Because now you said it cuts at Cape Town. Who's doing it for Kimberley and them?
I know we work with...
Not Kimberley, what am I saying?
in
Northern
another-
Cape, sorry.
Northern Cape.
Yes.
We work with another partner
Yes.
in another project that I'm doing.
Yo,
So it's called
these projects are
BCC,
many.
the Benguela Current Convention.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So you
So that's
have
like
the
a-
Nairobi Convention.
Yes.
No, that goes with... Nairobi Convention is similar to the Abidjan Convention. Then
Okay.
you have the Benguela
You're saying this
Current-
like
So
a
there's all
marine
these
scientist.
conventions. At the end of the day, there's all these conventions
Yes.
with a similar or the same mandate,
Yes.
operating in different
the region.
geographical areas.
Ah,
However, we come together
yes.
when the United Nations says come.
So you are part of the COP 28, 29, whatever discussions.
Yeah.
You guys attend those
Yes,
and
we
you
attended
represent
COP27 earlier this year.
this year. Yes,
Got
28. I think
represented.
is the next. Okay,
The
nice.
climate change meeting, that was the big one that was in Nairobi.
In Nairobi. Okay.
Yeah, we were there.
Wasn't there another one in France?
There was one in France. There's another one coming up now again in France,
Oh,
December.
okay. Maybe I'm thinking about that one. That's 28,
I hope
right?
I go and there's no bed bugs. in Paris.
Yeah, the French are not catching a break from South Africans this week.
Never. So we're doing a lot. And when I said,
Yeah.
one day I spoke to you and you said to me, "Kimbastrat, I'm always in the
Yeah,
street."
you're always in the street. This is true.
Yes, it's true. And
I'm not saying
another
what you're
one-
doing in the streets. I just know you're always in the streets.
You learn so much.
Mm.
I've been learning so much in the streets.
Mm.
So far in the
Ah.
streets, in the ocean streets, I've been learning so much. And there's so many technologies.
Mm.
There's so much technology that is out there that can
Yes.
actually be utilized
Yes.
and be provided to organizations and normal people in other African countries. And that is what this one project that I'm working on is doing, is that with certain technologies, we're trying to transfer them to other countries, to other marine science
Ah.
specialists.
Are we?
Because they don't have... Yesterday I was in a meeting, sorry.
Yes.
And the one guy, on Thursday, we had a
Yes.
meeting with Madagascar.
Mm.
And the one guy said, it's so nice that you guys invite us to these webinars and these meetings.
Shame.
But then we have a problem with data. Data is so expensive.
For them.
For them, data is expensive.
Oh, so you're busy.
They will
okay.
come in and out of a meeting
Ish.
because of data.
Data's running out.
Connectivity is a problem.
Yes. Jeez. I guess this also sort of highlights something that you guys also highlight in some way, in your own way, that you might be trying to fix one problem, but there are so many other problems that come onto that one problem that you can't just say, I'm going to focus on this. For instance, you guys are trying to upscale and benchmark and do all these exercises, but there's a social element or an economic element that's affecting your efforts for this thing. Yeah, you guys are... Okay, I like the passion with which you speak about this thing. I can tell that you really enjoy this thing.
And I never thought... I think.
Look at you now, eh? From swim teacher to, there was a hint there. There was always something.
From the water.
Yeah, something.
I think so.
Listen, I think let's close the discussion for now, or let's park it. We're not closing it. We're parking it.
Let's park it for now.
For the next time, ne? But before we park it, we always close our shows with asking. How don't give me that look. We ask our guests 3 questions. Every guest we ask them these 3 questions. Nah.
Okay.
And the way we always start this section scares our guests, and I don't understand why.
Because the way you're asking it already, the way you are coming.
No, it's simple. Question number 1. This is where you brag. This is where you unleash all the achievements that you've achieved in your life, and you think about, you isolate that one. What is that one win in your entire life and career that you're like, yeah, here, I'm boss. This is it. What is your biggest win? And don't be afraid. Don't say, don't be modest.
My biggest win?
Yeah.
I used to work for this other company, and they treated me so badly, and I quit in 6 weeks because I felt for my mental health,
yes,
for my career, it wasn't worth it to stay there. And it was a hard decision because I didn't know where I left there without a job. Jeez. And I didn't have a plan. I had a mini plan.
Okay.
That was lasting for about 4 months.
Okay, like a temporary.
But then making
thing.
that decision for me, it was a big win for me personally, because everybody around me kept saying, this is a job.
Yeah.
You don't have any other job. You need to. What is begazela?
It's hold on.
They said begazela. Do the job the best that you can.
Yes, until you can find something.
But I couldn't see myself. You know, when you're in a job and you can't see yourself past a certain date.
That's painful.
For me, that was the first big decision I made. And for me, it was a win.
I love that.
And
I love that. You were like, I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah, I thought of myself.
Taking care of number 1. I love that. We are flipping it. That was question number 1. See, it wasn't so scary. Question number 2, we are flipping it now. What is your biggest L where you were like, here, I messed up here? Life and career, anything. And from that, what was the biggest lesson or takeaway?
I messed up? I think I've messed up. I can't. All the bad stuff I block out of my memory. I need to
unlock that memory. Unlock it.
Where did I mess up?
We need the lessons.
Where?
The mess up itself is not as important. The lesson is what we are looking for.
Mess up where?
Life and career. Anything.
Life and career?
Yes.
I don't know. Life and career.
This is like that question in the interview where they're like, what is your weakness?
What are your weaknesses?
No, man, there must have been a time where you were like,
yeah. I think for me, where I messed up is I don't know if I'm using the right word when I say despondent. That when I started my career, right, in research, I haven't been publishing. And as a researcher, what makes you a researcher is your publications. I think I've messed up till now. I think I have this fear of rejection, and it's a stupid fear.
Yeah.
Because I write so much all the time.
But when you are writing to be assessed.
When I'm writing to be assessed.
It's a problem.
So it's messed up because then it made me stagnant for a while. Because now there's no paper trail to say, this lady, when I speak, you can hear, okay, she knows her business. But then there's no paper trail.
But you are not published.
When somebody Googles me, they can't see, okay, she's published this, and that. So that is the biggest mistake. And I'm still, so now the lesson here is that I still have time to flip it, and I need to flip it now.
Good. That's an important one because, and I think it comes from sometimes being too much of a perfectionist. You're like, no, I don't want you to see it yet. It's not there, it's not ready. And then you end up not doing it, So I think that's such an important sort of takeaway from there. So we'll take that from that. And then the last question, if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
I'd be a pastry chef.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why can't you do it now?
I don't have time.
Okay, it's a time thing.
I used to realize, even when I lived in Durban, I used to bake quite a bit.
Okay.
And bake for people at the office.
Oh, nice. For leisure, does it like calm you? Does it relax? What does it do?
It's calming.
Okay.
There's a creative side that comes out of it.
Ah, lovely. I
Especially
like
the
that.
decorating part.
I like that.
I think that's where I express my art.
Yes.
Abo. Then I think I'd either be a pastry chef
Mm-hmm.
or is there something called a business consultant where you help people grow their businesses?
Yeah, yeah, a business development person,
I
something
think
like.
I'm good at that.
Okay, you help people develop business.
Yeah, I'm always giving people ideas on
Okay.
how to make money or helping them with that. But I don't. When someone says, "Why don't you start your own business?" It's not for
Hold
me.
on.
I'm here to help you. Don't ask me why I'm not doing it.
I see. Okay, that's very interesting. That's very different to what you're doing now. Because some might argue that what you're doing now is more of it's more of a social. It has a bigger social impact than it is an economic one. Whereas the flip side is, I want to help people with businesses, which is more of an economic sort of. You're playing in the economic arena. That's very interesting.
But what we do is also with the social side.
Yeah.
We have socio-economic studies.
Yes.
Okay, we look more at the socio-economic impact and how to then flip it and make it work for the people in the affected areas.
Okay. All right. I think before we close it, do you have any closing remarks? Anything, any advice that you have to a young marinist? I don't know what you guys are called. Marine scientist, marine social scientist, someone that's looking to enter your field. Would you recommend it? Firstly,
I'd recommend you guys must go study geography. It's nice.
geography.
Geography is the bomb.
Wow. Okay.
My thing is, okay, can I say two things?
You can say 15
Firstly,
things.
certain
Just
subjects,
in time.
certain subjects shouldn't scare you. Subjects like, I think, biology and geography, they are wider. Biology has the human biology, then there's plants. I don't know what else there is. Then there's the cellular parts, the cells, and geography is so huge because you have human geography, you have physical geography, so the rocks and the sand and the trees. Then you have, transport geography.
Okay.
So which is not just the ships, but then also the roads and the cars, how they travel, the routes that they take. So all these geography is linked to so many other careers, and it can also be your stepping stone into another career.
Other careers, yes.
So I think people, when somebody says geography, they always think about
maps,
climate,
climate,
map work. No, guys. Or the weather.
The weather, yes.
There's so much more to it. And also, so that's the first one. And also asking questions and not being afraid to actually, just asking questions and doing the research is very important.
Awesome.
For me.
Awesome, lovely.
And focus.
And focus. On that note, guys, please focus on 9 to Life. Please share your thoughts on this episode. I think this was an awesome conversation. Very different, and this is what we promised you guys. We promised you a good mix of traditional and non-traditional careers. So yeah, where else were you? Who else was gonna bring you a marine social scientist? If it's not 9 to Life, you are welcome. From somewhere. You are welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you on the next one. And peace out.
Sharp.
Killing the game.